Hi, this is Kimberly with Mystic Mountain Homestead and Skiatook Bee Supply, and as you might have seen before, we're working a flow hive. That was one of our last videos. This is the bottom portion of the flow hive. So basically it's a Langstroth hive, and we're going to explore and see what's in downstairs. Hopefully they have enough honey for winter. Hopefully we're finding wonderful brood pattern and everything is good and healthy. So we've got the top portion of the flow hive off, and so it just becomes a regular Langstroth beehive. So here we've got brood pattern. It's not bad for this time of year. I'm seeing cap brood here. The little tile-likes are the cap brood. I see some little worm-like larvae that are older in here, but I'm also able to see down into these cells, and I'm seeing eggs, fresh eggs down into this cell. So that means that the queen has been here within the last 3 days laying eggs, and we like that. So these eggs that look like empty cells are part of the entire brood pattern here. I'm going to flip this over, and first I'm going to scan for the queen. I don't see her, but I do see, of course, I see a little bit of honey over here to the side, and you can see that that's honey. Look at that. I just popped one of the cells. So there's honey, and then this is all nectar that's not been capped. And then over here we have the brood pattern. Now this portion is brood pattern too, because that is young larvae and part of little larvae and eggs inside there. I'm just going to sit this down here as we kind of go through there. It gives a little bit more room so I don't damage anyone. Take my time and break these loose. It is cooler today, so the propolis is making it a little stiffer to work with, but it's still very workable. And when I say cooler, it's warmer than 50 degrees out here. You can work bees at 50 degrees with no harm to them. We are kind of windy today, but we're in a kind of a protected cove here where these hives are. Oh, and there she is. Look there. Right there. She's a beautiful queen. She's very dark in color. Unlike some of the other queens that we've seen recently in videoing and in pictures, she's very beautiful. She's very dark. She's very long. And she is doing a great job at laying brood. So we like seeing her.
Well, what kind of species is so dark like that?
Well, it's, it's different genetics. We don't live on an island, so we can't say we have all Italians or we have all Carnolian bees. So sometimes the queen will go out when she's first a maiden queen. She'll mate with different drones, and sometimes there will be darker species of bees. That's why you see some of these lighter golden striped ones, but then you may see a darker gray striped one here. There could be some Russian genetics in there.
Now, when the queen flies out, does she don't like, she's not like, oh, you're a wild bee, I'm not going to mate with you. Does she, so they do mate with wild bees as well?
Yes, they can mate with bees from your own colonies. They can meet up and mate with bees that are wild in trees locally or other people's beehives. It's just the drones that catch up with her. Those are the ones that she's going to mate with. And that's why you have bees that sometimes within the same hive that are different colored. So I'm seeing some empty frames in here that they haven't drawn out yet. But the queen is up here working, and she's laid some eggs and nice brood. This is nectar, and as you can see, look at that golden yellow pollen in there. That is quite beautiful.
Is that a cedar frame?
A cedar frame? No, it's just an older frame that's been used for years.
Okay.
And that's why it's...
look how dark that is, everyone.
Yeah, it's very dark in color. But you can use frames for a long time. As long, as the bees maintain health and stuff, they can be used for years. If you need to take out the old comb, the combs can be replaced. Or the foundation can be replaced and they can draw on it. Now, we've had a feeder in this earlier in the season. So we'll probably take that out and decide whether we want to put it back in or not. We may want to. This has got a little bit of nectar stored on it. I'm thinking that they probably need to be fed to give them a little extra food. We also have that in the flow hive, so I am hoping that they'll bring that down from upstairs. I think I'm going to probably pull this out for right now. I really do want to encourage them to bring some of that down from the flow hive, because they really need that. Okay, so what we're going to do is plop this off and look and see what's going on in the very bottom box. So I'm just going to set this over to the side. That way we don't damage or knock the queen out. So I set it sideways. Here's a hive beetle trap. You can see we've got a few hive beetles in there. And yes, you know, this is getting it close to the fall of the year, or into the fall of the year. And we do want to keep our hive beetle traps in there with the oil in there. It doesn't do any damage at all to have that oil in there. And it can actually help you because hive beetles will winter inside your colony. So we're just going to come right over here to the middle and see what's going on. That's usually where most activity. We got a little bit of brood there. The queen's been busy. This is not completely drawn out, but she took advantage of what was drawn out and laid some eggs in it. That's okay. We like her doing that, her business up down here. That's good. Look at that. So we don't have a lot of honey stored downstairs in this colony, and so you know, I think that maybe we will leave the feeder in here and fill it up. I would really like to see the queen. These are empty over here, so I would like to see the queen, or not the queen, but the bees themselves bring down some of the honey from upstairs. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this box and rotate it with this other one. So this is a flow hive. And I'm going to have to figure out exactly how to get this off there without damaging anything. There we go. I was able to lift that. So there's not real good handles on here, I can say that. See, this is what you use for handles, and it's just not a lot to grip. Okay, so this is downstairs. There is a tray in this of some sort. I think
Hive beetles climbing out of it.
What is it? Hive beetles climbing out of the tray?
Yeah, a massive one.
Yeah, we need to get some oil in those trays so that the hive beetles, when they're down there, they drown. Okay, so this is the brood.
Yeah, look how big those hive beetles are.
Yeah, smash that one. We don't like hive beetles. Okay, so we're going to put this on. Another thing is hive beetles can come up and down. If there's no oil, that nothing stops them from just re-entering the hive. So the queen was upstairs.
Yes, she was. So now she's downstairs.
And so now she's downstairs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good deal. So this means that the bees can work up and work into this box. Okay, so another thing is the flow hive is European. They don't fit perfectly onto our standard Langstroth boxes. Good enough that they can be used without any damage problems, but that is a slight difference in those two hives. So I'm going to go ahead and put this feeder back in this colony. Even though we're going to put the honey on top.
You're going to have to take one of those frames out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably ought to take this one out. There's not much activity here. Just a little bit of protection going on. And then we have a feeder. Let's slide that in. I think we have a gallon of sugar syrup.
I think it's behind you.
Is it behind me?
Was it?
Not over here.
Nope, it's over here.
Okay. Okay, so this is 2-to-1 sugar syrup, and it has essential oil mixes in it that'll help with varroamite and deformed wing virus. It also has some minerals added to it. The bees are going to love this. They're going to climb down in here and drink this up, and hopefully they'll store it as nectar in the colony that gives them more honey for winter time, more honey storage or food storage. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put these hive beetle traps in here. These are going to need to be replaced next time because they're getting a little bit sludgy, but I do like to get as much mileage out of them as I can without it being detrimental to the colony. And then we're going to replace this propolis trap right back on. Now what I think I'm going to do, I need to find a little, I'm going to find a little stick or something small here. There we go. Perfect. Little sticks. That I can put on top of this feeder. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want, if, you know, when this does get warm from the sun, I don't want this shutting this feeder off to the bees. So I'm just going to use these little sticks to lay across here to create a little bit of a bridge.
Lift.
Yeah, just to lift it up just a little bit inside here so that not enough to create a problem. I don't want to create a problem. That one may be too thick. We'll utilize this one and this one there. And that way the bees can get access to the top of this feeder and be able to utilize this food. So next thing we're going to be doing is returning this flow hive box back on top of this and then closing this colony up. So until next time, folks, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, like us, share us on YouTube, on Facebook with your friends, and if you have questions, please comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Your experiences with the flow hive, whether positive or negative. You know, we're new to the flow hive, and we're welcome to listen to everybody's thoughts on it. Thank you.